Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl, Jamila Laurie, and I am back with another 10 minutes to talk. We did have a guest scheduled today. Unfortunately, he had some technical difficulties, so I figured, hey, why not just come on anyway? And it's election day. It's election day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Um, yeah, it's a lot going on. A lot of people got up this morning and they went out to vote. Congratulations for those who did. For those who didn't, make sure you get there. It's not too late. Um, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about this election. I live in a small county township, and yeah, I was a bit disturbed. Um, some of the things that I saw this morning really bothered me, and I wanted to come on and talk about it. See, I was distracted. I did have my interview. We do have, a doctor that I was interviewing today. Unfortunately, we will be rescheduling him. I wanted to get this out done with today because we have a full schedule for the rest of the month, but we will definitely get him back on here soon. Um, but I probably need a doctor right now. The way this cough is going. Um, Let me see. Where do I start? Where do I start with? I made a few posts on Facebook today in regards to dimming other people's light to be seen or what have you. And I want to share. I want to add a little context to that because I was a little how can I say, I'm trying to find the words, y'all, because I'm not in a good mood because of this, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. It was a situation where one of the candidates walked up to me, introduced themselves, and literally, and I mean, with the next sentence was, "Hey, the other person in this role was horrible," and they're or not. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. They basically said this person. They kind of started spreading false narratives about this person. I personally know the candidate that's running the running candidate. I guess I'm saying that right. I'm not political, y'all, but I know this personally. Like, I personally know this person, and you walk up, you have no idea who I am. Definitely don't know that I'm a internet or radio personality or podcaster or anything. And you run right into me and you just start spurring out negative remarks about this person who so happened to be a friend of mine. And let's see here. And it really bothered me, guys. Like, it really hit my nerve because I feel like you shouldn't have to dim someone else's light. And the thing is, I did my research before I went to vote. I don't know all of these candidates, but I said, okay, let me look at their background, let me look at some of the things that they've done, let me see. It was kind of on a wing and a prayer to figure out who I was going to vote for. And again, we live in a teeny tiny space of a town. Excuse me. And I don't know. I felt very uncomfortable um because I felt like if I was to run for office, which you probably will never see, but if I was to run for office and a potential voter saw me and said, "Hey, um, Jamila, my name is such and such. I'm running for whatever position. And here's a little bit about me before you go in. Can we have a conversation?" If you're going to stop me and say anything, make it about you. Make that conversation about you, not about the person you're running against, because you don't need to down that person or downplay that person, because I'm all about change. And if you said the right thing to me about what you can deliver, I would have kind of taken that differently. But to walk up and just go straight in, I mean, she had bars about this other person. It left me like, absolutely not. Because if you're doing this right now just to get the seat, what are you going to do when you have the seat? I do not want to see you in office because you don't understand how politics works. And I just feel like you don't have any morals. Yeah, so of course I voted, and and I went in and I said, okay, I'm going to vote and I want to be fair. But and I had no bias. I think, that we are in a time where people should get a chance to show who they are, to express themselves, to participate in the community, and see how you can give back, especially if you have the time to and dedication to do it, the commitment, and you're genuine about changing where you live. We live in a small place, and it's not, there were a whole bunch of people running for office in this election, so we didn't have much to choose from to start. But I just feel like it's a small place. You don't have to be negative. If you're positive from the rip, and you had that conversation had went different, like, hi, my name is such and such, here's my aim, I'm running for this office, here's my aim, this is what I want to do, my intentions are this, then I literally and utterly would have went in there and said, boom, this is who I want to vote for, because what she said resonated with me. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people who are running for local offices should also get some PR training, understand how to work with the public, how to approach the public, how to talk to the public, how to communicate your stance properly, because running around bad mouthing other people is not it. Okay, it's so not it, and it's frustrating. um hey, girlfriend, one of our community people here, someone else, I'm going to tell you, I live in Collingdale, guys, and that's what this is about. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better as a community. We got to do better as people in general. And I'm not talking just racist, but just in general, we got to do better. We got to learn to communicate better. We got to learn to represent ourselves better. We got to learn not to down other people just to get to that next spot. To me, that's just, I don't know. It turned me off. It had me a little bit upset and frustrated. I didn't call anybody, um, because I honestly felt like I didn't want to start anything, but I just thought it was classless. There wasn't a lot of class to it. I understand controversy. I understand that there's some miscommunication going on. I understand that we're never all going to agree on the same things, but I don't believe in downing another person to get that spot. That is the worst form of marketing, because when you put yourself out there and you're running for office or anything, you're running, or going for a job even, you you're marketing yourself, right? So in marketing yourself, you want to make sure that you, Keri, can you jump on? I would love to have you jump on. I'm going to send you an invite um to jump on. I'm gonna throw this in. Let me see if I can send this to you. I'd love to have you on and to join me in this conversation. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Keri, if you can see that, I want you to jump in. Okay, now I'm entering my own in here. We're gonna get rid of that for now. So, um, yeah, guys. I mean, okay, so I should not do that. Okay, but here we are. If you want to join in, I put the link on the screen, guys. In the chat actually. But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like as a politician of any type, and you're going out to um, you're going for a position of any kind. Don't worry about the next person. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Stay focused, do what you need to do for you, and send out positive vibes, because it's all about energy. And you don't know who you're approaching. You don't know who the person is that you're talking to, because when you're talking to me, I'm going straight off of energy. I'm going straight off of energy. I can feel if you're genuine or not within a few seconds of approaching you. I've seen all of the advertisements around the campaigning that's being done around the city. And, I know who's who. So I seen you. But at the same time, that it can come off so bad, and you may have not meant anything. Maybe you're not trained. Maybe you don't know any better. But it's very, very important. And I wanted to share this with not just my community, anybody who's out there right now campaigning or going for a new job or new position, new role in anything. Just be mindful. Be mindful of how you put yourself out there. How you put yourself out there, and just not worrying about the other person. Regardless of what your stance is on that other person, or how you feel. If you feel excuse me, that you can bring something different to a community. And I'm just talking right now because it's election day, and I wanted to try to just jump into it because I'm not a political person. So, but this again, it bothered me, and I wanted to talk about it. So, if you're out there and you're campaigning, be mindful of how you can, really get your message out there without there's a link, Keri, right here in the did I put it in there? It's in the chat. So if you go to the chat, Keri, you will see the link. If you can just highlight that and put it in your browser, it will bring you right here. And I will bring you on the screen here to join me. But I don't know. I feel like, I honestly feel like we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better with so many different things. And let's see. You see the link? Okay. Okay. I'm like typing on everything. There we go. Okay. So guys, if you're again just feedback, concerns, comments, feel free to jump in. I am live. I want to hear if anyone else went through this. Somebody wrote a book. Okay. We need to educate our young people. I talked to a couple of young folks as I walked from my house to 72nd and Woodland to vote, and they have the attitude that it really doesn't matter, or we already voted. We voted for Trump. He's already in there. No, baby, we got different elections. Right. We have to educate our people on how the actual elections work. And what election is for what. This is one of the most important elections there is, right? So it's not only for the presidencies. You got the mayor, you got the senator, you got the Congress, you got all these other entities that need your vote in order to make a change. Think about extinct. I don't know. I'm bad, y'all. I don't know. It could be me. It could be me. You got Medicare, you got Social Security, you got homeless shelters, all that stuff that we carry. I'm going to send it to you via. email so you can get the link. So bear with me 1 second here, and I am going to email you the link. I think I'm going to do that if I know what I'm doing. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Think I can do it? Let's see. Um yeah, it's really a lot. We got to learn. Older folks still, because they don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. That's right. Exotic. Come on, y'all. This is so true. Who's that? Cornelia Davis. Thank you, Cornelia. Carrie, I'm trying my best. I don't know what I'm doing, Carrie. I'm going to go jump on Facebook and send this to you because I don't know. I want to bring you in. Let's get you on here because we are in the same community. Here's the link. All right. I think I just sent you the link in your on your Facebook, Carrie. So you should see it there, and you just gotta click on it. That's join me. Um, I'm not on Facebook, Carrie. Click the link I just sent you. I'm not on Facebook, actually, hun. So, um, yeah, I'm not on Facebook Live. That will cut me off. But you guys, we definitely got to do better. Educating our young people, and educating those that are running, because I think it's important that they actually get out and connect with the young people. Um, Corny Davis, carpentry, small business owner. Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's read this so we know. Hold on, I have to see. I know I said a lot. I'm glad you said a lot. It's important. This is Corny Davis on Corny's Carpentry, small business owner. Shout out to all my small business owners. We definitely appreciate you. Yes, I'm taking care of my mother, a home health aide. Um, I'm a pro bodybuilder. Okay, girl. Look, you need to come holler at me. I need help. I have my hat and a little bit of everything. I try to educate as I go along. I said a lot, but I'm sorry. I'm very passionate in these elections. Yes. And you should be. We live in these communities and it matters, right? I'm tired of the sidebar fake behind sometimes politicians that they don't have a voice. You have a voice. God and vote. That's it. Go out and vote. That's okay. Cornelia, I get it. I get it. I get it. Listen, listen. It's so important that we not only just get out and vote, but we educate. And I'm even thinking that maybe we got to start somewhere different, by educating the politicians that are out there, because a lot of them are super educated, very smart. I don't take that away from anyone, but everybody's not a public speaker. Everybody's don't really know how to connect with people. So I think that's a huge gap that's missing, because this is it's the one thing that turns me off. You have a person who has a good background, good education. I feel like they may be able to contribute something, but they don't have that people skill. And it really takes away from getting out there and talking to the community themselves, and just really connecting. I feel like that's where we're missing. And okay, I think Carrie is on. Let's bring Carrie on in a second, you guys.
Wow, you learn something every day. I'm
Hi,
trying to look
Carrie.
at like, where is it? Like,
I'm like, I'm on,
oh
I'm
my
on
goodness.
something secret. So
No, it okay. Oh, so when you doing it, it was saying that it wasn't supporting something or whatever I opened it in wasn't
yeah,
supporting.
yeah,
So yeah. So
yeah.
how are you?
Always a learning experience with me, right? Well, I've been better. I had a little attitude today.
Mm,
As I went to the polls, our polls. We live in the
yeah.
same place, so
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I had a little attitude. I don't even get involved with politics. I try to mind my business and shut up. But I was approached, and you know me, that rapper almost, she was like 30 seconds for me. I mean, the phone, and I was like, sis, don't do this, not right now. And it's not even about favoritism. I just felt like it was inappropriate. Um,
Right.
being a I'm not political, but I'm a radio personality and a host, and I'm
Mhm.
I'm in all these different places, and we gotta really watch what we say and how we say it, and who you don't
Yeah.
know me from that could have been my sister. Don't let the skin fool
Mhm.
you, you know. And it was just like going in, and it just it irked me so much because
Yeah.
I did my research and I said, wow, this a different face. Let's see. And as
Right.
I before I can go, make my vote, you piss me off. And I
Right.
was just like, is she serious?
Yeah.
So how was
Yeah.
your day? How was your I know you probably already been
I
out to
I
vote.
I voted.
So
It
it was hard.
surprisingly, it wasn't bad.
Hmm.
It has been in the past where, a lot of people feel bombarded when they're
Right.
coming up. Because even when I try to at least, help and partake, I don't really, do the politics either. If I did it, it was because somebody asked me to
Right.
this was something within the community or run for something, but it's not something that I particularly, like to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, help the community. Let's, do no financial literacy for the community. But to actually run for office and things, that's just not who I am unless there was a need and
Right.
somebody asked me to do it. Otherwise, I don't try to get involved in that aspect. We can help the community in another way.
Well,
But
speaking of
normally
such,
when
let's get in. I want to stop you before we get into that. Who
mhm,
are you and what do you do? Because we on here. We might as
uh,
well. Might as
all
well.
right. Well, let me fix this camera. You can see me, right? All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're good.
My name is Keri Cox-Khan. I'm the owner of KCK Financial Services. So we provide bookkeeping, accounting services, tax planning, tax preparation for small businesses, individuals, things along those lines, right? And financial literacy that I try to have like webinars and workshops and things like that for my community to just try to educate on financial literacy. So,
Excellent.
in a nutshell, for the most part,
One of my
that's what I do.
resources, y'all. One of the resources. Definitely.
That's what I
Definitely.
do.
Excellent.
I try
Excellent.
not to get involved in the political aspect, um, at all.
Right. Right. Right.
But like as far as the voting goes, historically around here,
Hmm.
it is kind of overwhelming,
Yeah.
because you do feel bombarded. I've seen that with other members of the community
Hmm.
when even if you're trying to help and you're trying to say, hey, here are the people that
Right.
that you can select. And I was out trying to give out stuff last time. This is why I shy away from even doing that, to
Right.
not being on any sides. I don't care who paperwork I'm giving out. If we're just letting people know this is who you have to select from. Here
Familiarity.
you go.
Right.
Right,
Right.
if you're just helping to give things out. And there was a community member that was like really bombarded like one of the other elections,
Hmm.
and she was like, get away, like
It's
it was
frustrating.
crazy. I just felt bad. I was like, oh my god, like because sometimes they're rushing up to you,
Yes.
regardless of the party or whatever. You have this one coming at you, that one coming at you, and they're shoving stuff in your face.
Yes.
um that's not the way to go about it.
Not at all. Not
As,
at all.
as the person is walking up, it's okay to give your literature, but like different ones, coming at you like that, it's just not necessary.
It,
And it
it's
just
it's not. It's
it's not.
overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And
Yeah.
even if you hand me a paper and introduce yourself, I
Right.
think that's enough.
Right.
Um, to and or even if you say, "Hi, I'm Keri Cox," and
Right.
and I this is a change that I want to see in the community. I'm okay
Right.
with that because now we had a little introduction and I know what your stance is. But
Mm-hmm.
for you to go straight into telling me that Jamila Laurie is a horrible person and she wrote it this and this is what she really
Right.
stands for, and I'm like, and I know this person, so of course,
Right.
not only just offended because I know this person, but does
Mm-hmm.
it matter? Does it really even matter? Because what I feel like you should worry about you.
Right.
You
Speak
Worry about
about what you're
Karen.
going to be able to
Right.
do.
What
I
can
mean,
you
I know
tell
it's
me
been a
about
lot of stuff
you?
going on. Yeah, it's
Right.
been a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Just because
I
I
hear.
don't respond doesn't mean I don't see it.
Right, right. Uh-oh. Did we lose you, Carrie? All right, I think we lost Carrie for a second, but we
Somebody
will.
trying to call
There we
back.
go. There we go. All right.
um, um, just because different things have been going on in the community. Like I said, I see it.
Right.
I don't necessarily respond directly to it because I'm not trying to get in
Right.
a pissing match with anybody over views and things of that nature. I am let what can we do for the community,
That's it.
regardless of the party, because I look at what are you bringing to the table, what changes are you trying to make, how does it impact us, what are the negatives, what are the positives
Right.
on what you're trying to do.
Right.
I don't care which party you're from.
Right.
I'm not going to agree with everything that you have to say just because you're of a certain party.
Exactly.
I
And
just want
that
to hear what
that
you have
was
to say.
it's
Yeah.
like I've never been one. Well, you already know I go against the grain. But
Mhm.
I've never been one to just vote, okay, I'm going to vote this color or vote that no.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and it's like, okay, everybody has an agenda. We know.
Hmm.
My Again, I go back to just tell me what your agenda is.
Right.
Let's see if it resonates with me. And then I'll
Hmm.
go in there and I'll circle your name. That's okay.
Right. Right.
I just feel like a lot just lately with this
Yeah.
whole campaign has just been like overwhelming to a lot of people who are
Yeah.
like, I don't even feel like going to vote. I don't feel like being bothered with them. And that we don't need that. We don't want that. We can't have that because that's what lowers the votes.
Right.
Literally, like people are not going to go out because they're aggravated because they drove by and seen you standing there. Like, I listen. I had, my office
Oh
right
my
here in
god.
the smack dab. I was
Hmm.
trying to get in here. I'm trying to get my little coffee and get in the office and here,
Yeah.
girl, I just walk like, oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
bad. But I do hope that as quiet as I be trying to be out of it. I feel like
Hmm.
somebody has to come in at some point. I don't. Hopefully not me, and
Right.
mediate this how things are handled within the
Yeah.
township, period. Because I
Hmm.
feel like there's a lack of communication, proper communication. I think they
Yeah.
communicate, but just in the wrong way. At
Yeah.
this point, I'm like, do we need a community therapist? Because I got friends. I'm like, look, because that's literally where I'm
I,
seeing it
I
at this
really
point.
would. I would like to see things change for the better for everyone, right? See everyone support events that they're all having. Like I said, I see it on social media. I don't say too
Right,
much, but if it's for the community, you're having an event for the community, regardless of if you like the person who's hosting. It's
right,
something for the community. I don't care what it is. Every support the event. If somebody's giving out something that the community needs,
right,
support the event. Not, well, I don't like so and so I'm not going to share that they're having an event. And I've seen this going across,
mhm,
right? And I'm
mhm,
like, I'll find out about an event at the very last minute because I saw something pop in my feed. And I'm
mhm,
like, okay, if they were planning this, I'm sure I'm not the only one in the community who didn't know about it,
right,
you know and then
right,
you find yourself not being able to partake
mhm,
because you're just now finding out about it,
exactly.
right?
In time, right.
Yeah, and I've seen people share who they like stuff
Yeah,
instead of just, if it's all in the community, then share all of it.
you're all of it, and
Somebody
it's
may
so
be able to
small,
use those resources, so
right,
share it, get the word out for whatever it is that's going to
right.
help the community that somebody's having. And that's, as a community, they're not together,
No, no, and
at all. Everything is a divide right now, and it's been that
everything.
way. It's just more apparent right now. It's like in your face,
That's
right?
bad.
Before it was kind of like, you got to kind of see it, but no, it's, you can see it
You can
at
see
this
it.
point.
You can
You
feel it.
can see it. It's,
You can feel
yes,
the
you can
heat
you
is
can
up.
feel it.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
live right there in the middle of it, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh my goodness, like oh, so much I
Yeah.
see. Just
Yeah.
sitting on my porch and sipping my tea, I see so much tea. Let's just say,
Right.
and
Right.
I just feel like it gotta change, or things aren't gonna get better. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Um, because
Yeah.
no one can operate under the premise of divide, period. I don't
Right.
care. We can't be one. We're small. I mean, we're literally only blocks.
Yeah.
So it's not like we live in Philly. It's not Philly.
No, it's
You
it's
know.
it's not big.
So with this small space, it's like we have to figure this out. And again, like you said, we sit on the sideline and I see it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, my anxiety, I've been had to come bring my therapist in there because my anxiety gonna go straight through the roof just
Yeah.
sitting amongst the chaos that's there. So much
You
chaos.
know, and it's a shame because I shy away from attending the meetings
Hmm.
because I'm that flustered.
Mm,
To sit in the back and to hear the things that other community members are shouting out
right.
and saying, name calling, everything. And
From
I'm
grown.
like, this is completely interrupting my peace.
Yeah.
Right? Again, do what's needed for the community, but
Hmm.
that's not what's been happening. And that's why sometimes I don't attend or I'll just watch on Facebook because it
Right.
is live streamed.
Right. Right.
Because to sit there and amongst the community of people that are sitting there and the things that they are shouting and the things that you hear when they're saying it, I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to hear
Because it's
that.
toxic. And
It's very toxic, you
why
know.
would
And
you
I'm
want to
like,
walk
well,
into
tell
that?
me how you really feel because
Right.
it's very apparent how you feel. And you don't have to like everyone,
Right.
but you should want to at least be cordial enough that we can get things done. You have your views about a particular group of people, and if you have that kind of hate in your heart, then I mean,
Then maybe this is not for you. And that's a thing. I think that
yeah.
you know you can be proactive from the background.
Mm,
Being in a
mhm.
position may not be for you. Hence to
Right.
while I'm not in a position, because we know I get mad, I'm going to go write a rap about you. It's over. Party. Um, but I know
Yeah.
me, so I certain things I stay away from. But to
Hmm.
see these same type of people, like I'm like, why would you say that out loud? Like I thought it too, but why would you say
Right.
that out loud? I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all, we need a representative that's going to handle it better than those who. And I'm trained. I know
Mm,
when to shut it off and all that good stuff. But sometimes my
right.
buttons get broken. I run out of oil when it's all haywire. But it's like right now, those people are leading.
Yeah.
And it threw me off. Like the toxic people is in the front. Who put the toxic people in the front line? And it make you crazy because I'm to a point now where I'm like, should we just get them all out of here? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It,
honestly,
like I said,
that's my
I'm
thoughts.
not with the politics. I've seen a lot of what's going wrong with the area.
Right,
Um,
right,
and that's just by me seeing it. Not that, I was welcomed with open arms when I did try to help
right.
because I wasn't. Um, and that gets to you as well,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Because then you don't want to come out of character either, right? But
Right.
it's but so much that any human can take,
Yeah.
right? But it's kind of like I'ma stay in my lane,
Hmm.
right? And I don't do the politics, but if the community needs what I can help with,
Right.
then I'm all for that. And then if
Oof.
we're doing something where we're helping the community, making sure that they understand how to budget and just try to get things in order
Mhm.
financially for themselves,
Right.
then every that's something that a lot of households would need. Support that, but that's not what
Absolutely.
you would see. Because they don't like a particular person,
It's personal. Right. It becomes
right? But it
personal.
right help get the word out that we're doing something for the community that may be beneficial to a lot of households.
Right.
Why not share that information so that those people can get the information? If they knew about it and they didn't
Of
show up,
course.
you gotta want to show up for yourself. You want
Absolutely.
things to get better. You can't always just kind of ignore everything and pretend that it's not there
And then scream about it later.
and
Yeah.
then scream about it later.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you have to get involved. And so to an extent I want to get involved, but not when it comes to the nastiness that's been going on.
Right. Right. Right.
Right. And so I'm like, okay, if that's not what's going on, then I would participate more. I would volunteer
You and I
more
both. You and I
for
both.
whoever's event. If it's for the
Right.
community and it's going to help the community, not just a set group of someone's friends, the
Right.
community. It's something that's going to help a good majority of folks, then I'm all for it. You need volunteers. If
I
you
think
are
it would be. I mean,
X
you're
ahead of
100%
time,
right.
then it can be, you can put it on your calendar if it's ahead of time. But if it's last minute, I can't really help you last minute.
Of
Like, you know what I
course.
mean?
I mean, we're busy. We're busy business owners, and we're
Right,
we're out here. We're trying to keep the we're trying to stay in the community. Otherwise, we can't afford to live here. But you know, we got to do it. We got to do it. And I get it. And like myself, I live on my I literally live on a calendar. So
right,
if it's not on my calendar, I can only guarantee that I won't be there. Like
right,
um,
right.
but I think you said something about just um if it was different. If it was different, do
Mhm.
you know how many people probably feel like us right now? Like, hey, if it was a different atmosphere, or I call vibes, if it was a
Right,
different vibe, I'd be in the building.
right,
Oh, I love my community because I do,
mhm,
but I don't like. I deal with enough real life toxic stuff in my own world that
right,
I'm not going to come out and invite new toxicity in. Like, for what? Like, I'm not coming out
right.
to be aggravated by this too, and then come home and
Hmm.
be aggravated by all the wonderful stuff, my list of things. Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm running a business with I love my clients, but they know who
right,
they are,
right.
and then taking care of my dad and doing all the other stuff that I
Hmm.
unfortunately get involved in. And I'm like, I can't be a part of anything so toxic. I could feel it. And when I can say I can feel the tension in the air, I just wanted to vote and get I don't even
Hmm.
get my little sticker and get my little sticker, and
Hmm.
and pray for the best. But I just was so disappointed in what
It's
I saw.
I was surprised that it was, at least when we went around there at the time we went, it was okay. But then I
Do
haven't
you think we
always
had a good
experienced it being
turnout
okay.
today?
Um, no, it was only like, well, at that time of the day, it was around lunchtime or so. The one that I have to go to based on which precinct you're in.
Right,
It wasn't, you had more people standing out there giving out stuff than you had people pulling up to go in. But that could have just been the time.
right.
I'm
True.
sure there were people earlier, and there's going to be people later.
My poll was
But
kind of empty.
um, overall, I was pleased with the experience today. But
Okay.
when I saw you saying that, it was just like
Cause y'all know when I
deja
go in,
vu
I don't say
of.
nothing. You will not
I
hear
mean,
about
luckily
nothing.
that didn't happen today to me,
Right,
but it has happened,
right, right.
right? Where there was just like so much negativity, and you're just coming to try to vote,
That's
and you
it.
got people in your face, and you know, there's something called a personal space.
Yeah,
And I've seen it, firsthand where other people were really getting annoyed with the people giving things
I was
out.
into it.
And it's just not necessary. You can give your stuff out. Everybody can give out what they're trying to give out. You don't have
Give
to,
it out.
bombard the person.
Well, give it out and keep it moving. And if you
Right.
want to
Right.
share something positive about yourself. I don't
Right.
know you,
This is
but
what
tell me
I'm doing.
something. That's it. Hi,
Right.
I want to be this, and this is my stance on things for the community. I want to see change. That's it.
Right.
I
Right.
do not care that Carrie sells CDs out the her trunk. Like,
Yeah,
like
we're all always learning, but that's one thing, like, you could be passionate about a thing or whatever,
right.
but depending on how you come off, you're being seen as the aggressor, even if that's
Right.
truly not the case.
Right. And I believe
That
that it wasn't, but
Right,
that's
but
how it
that's
came
how it
off.
comes off, and that's how it's perceived. I had to learn that myself, right? It
Right.
it can come off that way, definitely, right?
Right.
And
Right.
you what you saying might really be valid, and this
Hmm.
is exactly what has been transpiring over the last several months. You
Hmm.
are right, because I may have seen it myself,
Right.
but it is very negative, and I even had to say that to someone a few weeks ago. The way you're coming off,
Hmm.
I'm like, don't say I didn't tell you, right? The
Right.
way you're coming off It's standoffish. I know why you're saying it. I get it.
Right.
I just because I don't say anything doesn't mean I don't see what's
Right.
going on. But
Exactly.
when you're approaching another person and you're trying to tell them X, Y, and Z, they're like, I don't want to deal with all that negative. First thing
Right.
they say, I don't want no parts. No, I'm not trying to help with
I
anything.
literally walked away, and that's not my personality. I'm
Right.
Jipper. I'm like, hey, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. And then
Yeah.
I turned into this girl, get out my face. Like
Right.
she all in North Philly had just transferred up here like
Yeah.
quick. And I was like, oh
Right.
my God, please help me because it was just like you could feel the negativity. And I
Right.
feel like I understood what she was saying. I don't
Right.
like it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Right.
It's
And
literally
there's a
how you
time
do
and
it.
place. Like if you're saying certain things, that wouldn't have been the place to do it. At that point, it definitely should have been. This is what I'm bringing to the table, or this is what I'm trying to do, or whatever. Right.
Hmm.
Um, if you're in a different setting and you're saying, "Hey, this is what I've been seeing going on in the community," and
Right.
you're telling people that at that same day is not the day to do it, in my opinion.
That's what
Enlighten
that is the
folks
thing.
before that.
Yes.
Let them do their own background and
Let them
try
do
to
their
look and see
homework.
what's going on, and let them come up with their own conclusion,
Exactly.
um based on what they were able to discover on their own. But
Right.
that at that point is not the place to do it, in my opinion. I don't know exactly what was said, but I can hear, like, from when
It
you were
definitely
first
wasn't the
talking
place to
about it.
do it. Yeah, it wasn't the place.
I Yeah.
And it wasn't the
uh,
time. And I think
right.
that you could have knocked on my door and relayed that message
That's what I'm saying. The
a
time
week
to do that
earlier.
would have been before this. And
Exactly.
you want people to come out and partake in the voting. um this is not the way to do it, to have that bombard feeling. And like I said, I was very surprised that I didn't experience that today,
Hmm.
um because I have so many other times.
Right.
So I was very glad that I didn't experience that this time.
Yeah, I'm
you
I'm like I literally sat in the car and made that first post.
Wow.
I did not pull out the parking lot until I said what I said
Mhm.
because I'm a crazy person and the crazy kicked in. And I was like, I
Yeah.
should go say something. But my body language, I'm sure, said it all because
Yeah.
y'all know I don't have a poker face.
Yeah.
So soon as she started talking, my face had I was like, and then I said the person name and was like,
Yeah.
oh, and I did that, and then I just started walking away. So she probably, oh,
Yeah.
that's her girlfriend,
Yeah.
and I miss what you said. Roxy, don't start it. But all right, let's see. We got some comments here. Cornelia Davis again. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let's see. But I'm that person. Cornelia, don't make me fight you. Look, when I went out to go vote, everybody that I came across, I shouted out, "Go vote, young lady," sitting in a car. Everybody was it was everybody with three adults, two adults in the car. They said they had not voted. The other adults looked like she was in her early 20s, maybe still in her teen. She said she didn't vote. When I was telling her some of the reasons why she could vote, she twisted her face and said she didn't want to be bothered. So with it, so I kept it moving, even though I put my
Yeah.
point across and I told her that she should vote. I kept it. All right, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a shame. A lot of
But
people
but
don't
you know,
realize that it's the presidential election is not the only time you're supposed to partake.
but that's why it's so important
Yeah.
for our young people to understand the judicial system.
Right.
I talk about this all the time. Even on my radio station, it's a
Hmm.
young guy who has a song breaking down the judicial system. And
Hmm.
I mean, hey, it's hip hop. Let's reach them however we can reach them. Because y'all know I be
Yeah.
like, if I got busted,
Yeah.
do it in a rap battle, then that's how we going to get the point across. But I feel like
Hmm.
that's that part of the education is so so important because what I realize is adults who don't know. They don't. It's,
Yeah.
it's a lot of adults. Roxy, are you behaving? That's what I want to know, Roxy. Are you behaving right now? Um, she's at the
Yeah. It,
community
it was
center.
a lot of people. and this was a few years ago when I was, helping to just give out things.
Hmm.
Um, they completely did not know.
They
They were
don't.
like, it's the president. It's time to vote again, and I was like, there's other, times that you vote. Other
Absolutely.
than that, you got the local stuff, and this directly affects you, who's being picked for these things. I mean,
Right.
the president too, but you know what I'm saying, like, and sometimes it might be a question on there,
Hmm.
um, but people don't understand that the primary is, you have different parties, and you're basically narrowing down at that point who's going to represent that particular party.
Right.
and
Right.
and they're like, oh, I can vote for anybody. No, they didn't pass that yet, where you can do that. You have to stay within the party, and then
Right.
when they have the other election, then you can go whichever way you want to go.
Right. Right.
People don't realize you don't have to vote within your party, during the other election. And like I
Right.
said, I'm not a big, and this is why I don't participate in certain things, because I'm not a big party person. I'm not, you know,
That
who can
yeah.
get the job done,
Sometimes it's my decision is split, you know, and
right?
it's like
Who can get the
based on the
job done?
person. Right.
Who
Right.
seems sincere? Who
That.
plan seems like it's going to work for the majority, because
Right.
most times it's not going to work for all. I mean, it just is not. But is it going to be more of a positive for the community? Is it going to be the negative? How
Hmm.
much of a negative? Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to hear about, that kind of stuff.
Right.
What do you represent?
That, and that's what
But
I wanted. That's what
some of
I
the
wanted to
people
hear.
are, and it's okay if that's the way you are. I'm not knocking it. I'm not party, 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 party.
Right.
Can you do what the community needs?
That's it.
Is
Do
what you're pushing going
does
to
your
affect
agenda
everybody's
resonate
pockets?
with me? Right. No,
Right? Is
seriously,
it going
does
to
your
affect? Yeah.
agenda resonate with me?
Right.
And that's
How
it.
much is it going to cost us to do this?
Right.
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 What do we have? I hear people complain on social media a lot about the children.
Hmm.
Oh, they taking pictures of them, videos of them. I seen them doing this. I seen them doing that.
Right.
You got to realize what you're dealing with and put things in place to try to mitigate that. What
Right.
do they have to do? Children are getting in trouble in different places, not just over here, right?
Every.
So, but you see that more when they don't have anything else to do.
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
just ripping and running, and they're being followers instead of leaders. And unfortunately, maybe getting into trouble.
Hmm.
But what do we have in place for them to
To
have something
occupy them.
productive?
Kids need a distraction. I
Yeah.
know because I ran around with those people that I have called we call kids for years. Thank
Yeah.
goodness I don't have to do it no more. But I got nephews, and I try to be in their life to make sure they don't run and
Right.
get into chaos. I mean, so that it doesn't stop. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's like we so many things are taken away,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, and then
Yeah.
time, and then participation, because Lord knows I would love to be, but I got 10
Yeah.
million things that I do. But I send my daughters out. My daughters, they grown now, and I
Mm-hmm.
fuss like, I did it for you, you need to go out there and do it, and they don't mind participating in things. But
Mm-hmm.
again, they're not from a toxic household, they're not from a toxic environment, and
Right.
certain things make them feel uncomfortable. Like my oldest daughter's 30 years old, but she feels uncomfortable. She like, Mom, them ladies, they a little bit, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to be in there. I'm
Yeah.
not good at, and rightfully so. So I'm not going to say, oh yeah, you need to. No, don't get involved in that nonsense, because that's not who we are. You know,
Right.
um, and
Right.
it's beyond religiously. Like people are, oh, because you're religion. No, because morally, just as a human being, whether I'm being religious or not, I just don't believe in that. Like the extra gossip and like
Mm-hmm.
toxic period. That when I
Mm-hmm.
say that had I look, I was trying to look for. I look how much you gonna laugh. I hope y'all laugh. I had to come in and drink all these because I was like, I'm gonna need some tea to lower my anxiety right now. I was like, I got turmeric tea in here somewhere. I just put it all on my desk. Because I was just
Mm,
like, oh my goodness, like I just
yeah.
never, and I've seen things happen at the
Mhm.
polls, and I've worked the polls,
Mhm.
I was in a position at one point, 2016, but
Mm,
here in this same community, and when I
yeah.
say it's changed, the shift is so
Mhm.
dynamic in the changes when from years ago to where we are now, and
Mhm.
I could take a wild guess as to why, but I won't. I won't on air.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to get better. We got to get
Right.
better. And I'm like, I feel like maybe I'm a part of the problem too, because I can just be out here teaching people how to proper etiquette, maybe. But maybe I got the training. I ain't gonna say I use it myself, but I got the training.
Mhm.
I mean, but it's really important that we know how to, if we're gonna go for a role, because people have to understand when you go for these roles, you're in a position of leadership. You are the voice of the people.
Yeah.
You are the voice of this community. You represent me, and
Right.
if you make me feel some kind of way, you throw my energy off, you can't represent me. So only thing I can guarantee you is I will not be voting for you because I don't like your energy. And just that petty. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like, and again, maybe they don't know. Maybe they are just passionate about it. Like the young lady said earlier, Cornelia Davis, she's passionate. Cornelia, you don't ever have to be sorry about being passionate, but long as you're
Right.
not the candidate running for the position and
Right.
doing go vote, go vote, go vote. I mean, girl, sit in your car and knock them out. Just keep saying it all
And
day.
that's why I was
That's
saying
cool.
I've had to experience that myself,
Hmm.
right? You can have a passion for something, but you have to tread lightly with the way you're coming off and the way you're being perceived, because it is important, because to someone else it's like you don't want to be the one that looks negative,
Right, right, right.
right? And it could just be that you're passionate about what it is that you're talking about,
Hmm.
and you might be absolutely correct with what you're
Cause
saying.
Carrie, let's take it back. Let's take it back. You're very, you're very passionate about accounting. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick history on Carrie and I, right? So Carrie ran the what department was it? The account? It was another name for the accounting department.
Like billing and AR and
Billing, accounts receivable.
mm-hmm.
Me,
Mm,
IT. So fun part is I drink a cup of coffee like this big when I walk in the door, and everybody's system is down, right? So people would go to Carrie and ask Carrie questions that
mm,
didn't make sense. And I didn't know her. I didn't know Carrie. I just knew the name because people
mm,
that and I was like, and Carrie's not, she like really the nicest person because I'm like, let me go talk to her and see what's going on. Is her computer broke? Should I fix it? And and when you say that, I think that's what people didn't understand. You're trying to get your work done. You want to get people paid on time. You want to get bills paid.
mm,
You were passionate about what you did, literally. And
mm,
I witnessed it. And I'm
mm.
telling you, you were like the meanest person. And I'm like, this little person she's so sweet. She's not mean. And I think that's, and again, that passion. And of course, if you talk to me before I had my sips of coffee, we know Jamila wasn't fixing nothing. Everything going down today. Whole darn company be down because I'm going to finish my coffee first. But I think, and even if I talk to people, you've heard me talk to people about, computer usage and security and locking this and locking
Mhm.
that. People would think you think I'm dumb? Are you talking to me like I'm stupid? Are you talking down to me? And I'm like, no, I'm passionate about technology and I'm passionate about
Right.
not working till 10 o'clock tonight, like
Mhm.
people, and I think that's why we can understand that, yeah, you can be
Mhm.
passionate about it, but it's a way. And we both learned in our careers that
Right.
we got to tone it down a little bit
Right.
or a lot of bit,
Because
a whole lot, because
I'm
I'm
no
passionate
nonsense
about
kind of
systems.
person.
Right, right. And I
Let's get
tell
it
people,
done. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Let's get
let's
it
do
done.
it. Let's fix it. Let's make sure this
Right.
is happening. I know the engineer at that particular company we won't name.
Mm.
Um, he used to get so mad at me because
Mhm.
he knew I mean, you're an engineer. Great.
Mhm.
But I'd be like, oh my God, if you could just get up and do it because, I felt like I know what I know. So you just need to do these things to get it fixed. And
Mm-hmm.
and he would look at me like, girl, if you don't shut up, you don't just get away from me. And I get it. I get it. But I also know that we all had to learn. It's a learning experience. So hopefully, hold on. I'm listening in and out while I'm doing what I'm doing because I do what I do. I'm in the Southwest Philly area. What
Mm-hmm.
area are you guys from? We are from Collingdale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to Collingdale. So there's different voting stations up here, so y'all don't know who I'm talking about, but y'all probably do. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So, um, Cornelia, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure
it's not
to
Philly.
meet you. But I'm sure Philly's going through something very similar because I know I will be there. But in June, doing some things. So yeah, yeah, Philly's going through.
Yeah, they. Yeah, I've never honestly, I've never experienced this in Philly. People try to say Philly this and Philly that, but when I went to vote in Philly for all the years that I voted there, I never experienced
Not
what
at
I've
the polls.
experienced.
Not at the polls. I feel like
I
it was
never
not
experienced
as
that at
much
polls.
chaos. No, there was not a lot of
It would
chaos
be,
at
oh
the
yeah,
polls. It'd
and
be
it would be
craziness, but the
disorganization,
craziness
just
would
like
be
it's
community.
disorganization here.
Yeah, yeah. That's normal. That's normal
Right. But
everywhere.
being feeling bombarded or people like coming up to you all, with all of that and invading your personal space, I never felt that in Philly. I felt
Right.
that out here. And that's why I said I was so surprised when I didn't experience that this time. I'm like, oh great, that was good. But
Yeah.
but you experienced it, so it's still
And
happening.
I'm the wrong person, like the biggest mouth
Yeah.
of the community, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't she know me? Maybe she should know. Maybe I need to put a poster of me out so y'all know. Take that somewhere else because I'm gonna go live. I got 20 million followers. I own the radio station. I'm gonna talk
And
about
I
you.
see it pop up and I'm like, hey friend.
I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting here like, okay, and I'm like, and I had to, and I'm like, all right, I had an interview, and he's like, I was going to be peaceful today, interview the good doctor,
Hmm.
and just talk to the
Hmm.
doctor and talk medical stuff. But no, 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 not today. We're going to jump right into this vote. And I said, you know what? Well, we had to reschedule that, so I'm going to talk about my voting experience today. And unfortunately, and I would talk if it was good too. I
Yeah.
had time. I don't usually have time, so I had time today. So even if it was a good experience, I would have talked about it because of I had time. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, I was turned up. I was turned.
Hmm.
And y'all know when I get turned up, I'm turned up. I'm turned up, and I'm like, and I don't want to wish any negativity on anybody because if you went out and you did your due diligence, if you mean well, I do hope that you get the position and I hope you do the right thing. And I hope to meet you and I hope that you know my face so you won't tell me no personal stuff or anything because, baby, I'm Wendy Williams of Collingdale. I know. No, I'm like, no,
Listen,
me and my
and
big
I
mouth,
don't know
like,
who she's talking about. She actually joined up because I'm like, yeah, I didn't experience that today. For me,
well, that's good.
it was very calm this time, but
Right.
I have experienced, that all in your face kind of thing, and you know, it is a bit much.
Well, I just hope I truly hope that everybody can, that after the election and
Hmm.
everybody take their rightful positions,
Right.
um, we can get it together. I do want to be more involved, so I'm gonna burden you with the task of maybe keeping me in the loop
Well,
because
I would
I'm
also
bad
say
at it.
for everybody to be welcoming,
Right,
right?
right, right,
Because even myself, I try not to pick sides, if you will.
right, right, right.
But when you come in and you have one group of people saying hello or whatever, and another people being very standoffish to you,
Yeah,
well, why am I going to continue to even try to say hello to you or whatever if you're not speaking back or you're
right,
being very standoffish towards me? I don't need that.
right,
Right. So, but I don't care either way with regards to party.
right,
Just
right,
keep that in
right.
mind. If you want help
About the
from
cause.
myself or other people, let's keep it neutral. Let I don't care who you don't like. What are you trying to do for the community? Is
That's
it
it.
to help the majority of the community and not just a few people that you know?
Right.
how
That's gonna
sometimes
benefit.
it does that kind of go down, that goes down.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it.
It helped the community. Again, it may not be something for all, but try to do something for most.
Right.
And it's something that would benefit,
Or something
maybe
that
one of our
resonates with you.
mothers. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, we all have our, like we got some people like heavily into seniors, some people
right,
heavily into kids, some
right.
people just want to see a clean block, or, or just want to see
Yeah,
trash cans all at every house. So whatever your agenda is, whatever your thing is, because you're gonna have some people who be like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him because we on the same page. I want to see trash cans everywhere, right? So I feel like that's what you should be promoting. And
right.
again, it goes kind of back to marketing, because I think sometimes we think marketing and we think, oh, campaign, and you
Right.
are your campaign. You are a walk. Now I'm getting into my business. We are walking campaigns of who we are. You
Right.
know, Keri, you're not going to be out here twerking and then saying, "Hey,
No,
yes, I want to be I want to handle your finances." Okay,
I might do a line dance.
the line dance maybe, but
Yeah,
not
I
no.
can do a
You
line
ain't
dance,
going.
but
You ain't
I
gonna be
won't
doing
be
nothing crazy, and
twerking.
that's the thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like a represent. I'm gonna look at you and say, okay, she represents my money. you
Right.
know
Right.
I may represent your internet personality or your brand or what have you
Hmm.
on that side, or darn it, your IP address. Like, here we are. We are a representation of something when it comes down, especially business owners. And even if you're not a business owner and you are stay at home mom, right?
Hmm.
But you're going out to be a community leader. you
Right.
know how do you represent me? How do
Hmm.
you represent me? Because I feel like in my head, I live in an upscale neighborhood. Now we know it may not be,
Yeah.
might be
No.
medium scale. It's one of them kind of scales like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like you should carry yourself a certain way.
Right.
Um, and just be the person that, I look at him like, wow, she's awesome. Just,
Right.
it don't take much for me to say that. You could be ratchet as ever. And I'll be like, you know what? She's awesome though, because I like her, because she just have this thing. And I
Hmm.
think that we all have to show that, who we are through that. You don't ever want to just start negative with people, especially
Hmm.
at introduction. It's just so bad, because I do. Now that
Hmm.
I'm a little bit more calm and I talk to somebody, a real human, and not AI was like, you should have slapped her. I was like, no, AI, don't say that. But
Right.
I feel like, you know, it maybe she meant well, and
Right.
maybe she just wasn't taught how to present.
Hmm.
Because I've what I do for a living, I had to really get in here and say,
Hmm.
you know what, you actually go into companies where you're dealing with you're teaching an HR person how to communicate
Hmm.
with their staff in this new role. And I'm like, you know what? And a lot of times it's me, and
Right.
it should be about we, the community, blah blah blah. So I think that's part of the, and I hate to say education, but I think it's a part of how people need to learn how to brand themselves, because you are your brand, even if you're a homemaker, the president of the PTA committee at the school over there, whatever. Like
Hmm.
you're still a brand, and I think it's really really important when you're in these positions. So I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe it's something I can do a workshop on in the future to help people better communicate. um, I'm gonna have them. They're gonna be like, I know what to say now. Y'all gonna be like, "That with Jamila." Oh my god! But no, I honestly think that it's
Yeah.
something I'll brainstorm on personally to just. I probably won't approach that person because they'll probably see and be like, "You was talking about me." Yep, I was.
Yeah. Well, like a class on also like how you're being perceived. Like some people don't care, but talk about why you should care.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
are reasons
and
why
that's
you absolutely should care. It's like, well, I said what I said, but no, how are you being perceived? Like
how are you
these
being
are the reasons
perceived?
why you should care how it's being perceived. And even though you might be passionate about a thing, how did it come
How
out your
can
mouth?
you How can you
Right?
deliver your passion
The
appropriately?
delivery, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Right? Because I am a straight. I'm a straight shooter,
Oh, Kara, we know you.
right?
We know. Listen,
And so I don't
but you're
sugarcoat,
aware. You're aware
right?
of that.
But at the same time, when you're dealing with financials, you shouldn't want somebody that's going to sugarcoat.
Correct.
You
Correct.
should want to know the truth and not somebody, kind of stroke your ego and say, "Hey, you're doing okay," when you're not,
Right.
right? Because
No,
then you're going
you're
to blame them as, like, well, you didn't tell me. No, but it's all in the way you say it as well. You can get your point across without
absolutely
being so standoffish that somebody's like taken aback,
right. Right. Right.
and we're
Well,
all still learning. I have to catch myself sometimes because I'm so passionate about it. At the same time, I'm like,
right.
hey, you really want to say something else? It's like, this is, your livelihood. This is your
Well,
business.
and it's a time and place
Yeah,
for everything because
right,
I have
right,
to, with certain clients, I have to get into the character and say, no, no, wait,
yeah,
stop. Your business, you're not going to make no money. You're
right,
not going to make any money because you're not doing it right. And they like,
right,
girl, they be like,
right,
I'm like, either they going to come back or they not. They may not book another session with me. I understand. But a lot of the people that I personally work with want that type
right,
of one-on-one
right.
passion. We're gonna call it
Right.
not
I
aggression, but
mean, I've
passion.
even had somebody that I was helping, what, the last, like, 2 months ago,
Hmm.
and it was said to me, "Thank you," because people are not being real with me about what I'm doing in my business, and I'm
Exactly.
like, "This is what you were supposed to do. You didn't do it." Like, if I'm your accountability partner, how can I slack on that? I am the person that's supposed to keep poking. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you
And
pay that?
in your role,
you
no,
know?
that's serious. As an
Yeah.
accountant, as a bookkeeper, as anybody dealing with my finances, please keep it real with me. Tell
Right.
me I don't need that pocketbook. Tell me I don't need those shoes. Please do. Because your girlfriends is gonna tell you, girl, the
Right.
other shoes match that too. You can get sneakers and shoes. You be like,
Hmm.
you can afford it. Like my girlfriend told me I can get a G Wagon. I was like, I can get a G Wagon. She was like, girl, you should have already did that. And my other girlfriend was like, don't you
Don't
better
do
keep driving that Jeep. Be
it.
happy. Like, how many miles do your Jeep got on it? Ain't that paid for? And it was a reality check. And it's like, I like to be held accountable. She held me accountable, letting me know that you drive 4 minutes per day. Why
Right.
do you need that?
Right.
Seriously. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You right.
Right.
You right. Can we go look at
Need
them?
versus a want.
Yep. Yep. And we learn that. We learn that. So listen, we can go all
Yeah.
day. I'm gonna get offline. I probably didn't drove everybody crazy now with my venting. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But
Mhm.
Carrie, tell them how they can find you online.
I'm on
Actually,
all social sites, or at least most of them. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I'm even on TikTok. It's
what?
all
Okay, TikTok.
yeah, I'm on there
Put
a
it
little
in the
bit.
chat for me. I'm gonna put it on the screen here. Drop it in the
Yeah,
chat for me real quick.
put it in. Let me see if I. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna type
Any
something
chat.
in here
Any
and
chat.
see
Fine. You on
and
Facebook?
see if it comes up for you. Okay, because remember when I
Oh,
was
go into the whole. You see host chat, or I don't know what it say on your end.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Put it in there for me. Yep. And I'm
Let
going to
me
drop it at the end of the screen so people can see.
let me see here. I'm gonna type it and see if it comes up for you.
Okay. Yeah, because we gotta promote you this 1 hour live that I didn't went in and
I don't
did.
know if you
I
can
didn't go
see
watch.
it.
Let's see. Yep, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, so I'm on have different reels and things and financial information on there. I host webinars on financial literacy for the average person as well as business owners. So yeah, and workshops. So we'll be having something coming up soon. I'm trying to because we're going into the second quarter. So some of them are absolutely free, and some of them are low cost. And I
Okay.
definitely try to do the ones that I can for the community. Hmm.
Nice, 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 nice. And I ain't forget we gotta do something because y'all know I'm a lunchbox. I be having a million things going on. I ain't gonna lie. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm hosting a million things this summer, so something I just got dragged back
Yes,
into.
definitely let me know. I have
Um,
different content that we could do to help
yeah, I
business
mean,
owners.
and I'm back. I hate to say like I went anywhere because I ain't go nowhere, but I'm definitely back on getting online, which I had to stay off of because when it come down to business, your operations got to be in order, and
Right.
this is what I
Definitely.
strong was my passion, and I'm like, I gotta stop yelling at people, and I could get my own stuff right, right. So I took the time to because
Okay.
you get so caught up sometimes working on other people's businesses because that's what I do for a living. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fixing all their stuff, and then I'll go back to my stuff, and I'm like, my process is jacked up. So I
Hmm.
really had to focus, just come offline and not worry about online for a while. Focus
Yeah.
on getting me together, and now I'm back. I finished, I
Okay.
think. If y'all click on something that don't work, that's not my problem. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But really getting and then we've been working on some really big projects
Okay.
throughout Philadelphia. So very visible projects. So I'm super excited about a few launches that we got coming up.
Okay.
Um, from yeah, so we've partnered with some amazing companies throughout Philly, some nonprofits, some for profits. And they're doing some big things. So y'all see me jump on. I'll be talking about housing, and financial stuff, literacy with housing. So Keri, I'll be pulling you in so many directions. You keep saying, "Girl, we got to work on something." Like I ain't sitting here stirring the pot. Like she keeps saying that. As soon as she gonna put me on do not
Because it's
disturb.
the passion. It's
Exactly,
the passion.
exactly. So we do. Don't think I forgot about you. I didn't. I just wanted to align. I don't want to be have you. I'm talking about digital marketing, social media. We talk about
Hmm.
finances because it's not the
Yeah.
same audience. But we
Hmm.
will. What I'm working on now on these special projects. I will need you. I will need you to
Okay.
address some of these things. I don't. My friend list is short, so
Mhm.
my real life friends list is
Yeah.
just short. I just don't have time. But
Mhm.
I feel like you'll be a great asset to this big project. And
Okay.
it's a nonprofit. It's your target. It's your target audience. So I think
Hmm.
it'd be perfect for the direction that the company's going in. So we'll be probably launching, I'm thinking some July, August maybe.
Okay.
And I'll be reaching out. Y'all see me. I'm going to be very vocal. Unfortunately, that's not my thing anymore, but it's going to be my thing. June, I'll be out in the park. I'll be announcing all of those things, it's flyers and all that. So I ain't doing none of it. I just say yes to stuff, and next thing you know, I'm on flyers. But yeah, the Islamic Heritage Festival, which is amazing.
Oh,
It's an awesome festival. So
yeah.
our family has been doing that for years and years and years and years and years. So
Hmm.
as the new generation takes over, we got to participate. So I think I got a stage spot, unfortunately. So I'll be so yeah, so it's a lot going on, but everybody make sure that I dropped it underneath. See, I was giving them time to go ahead and get all the letters in. But make sure y'all follow Keri on all her social media channels. LinkedIn. I know you do still do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. Um
Hmm.
TikTok now, y'all, because I'm TikTok now. I didn't got off. I can't Instagram and Facebook no more. Anybody got time for that? But make sure you follow her. She's creating content for financial literacy, y'all, and it's so important. We gotta get our money right. We gotta get our money right, and right now more than ever. Um, for more than one reason, if y'all know what I'm talking about. But we need to get it. We need to get right with
Yeah.
finances. Is so important. And I actually I don't know, everything financial is coming my way. This is not my field, y'all. I just got good friends with that's into the money thing, not me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But I think that yeah, we gonna I'm gonna be interviewing a young lady who is a therapist, and she does what's it called? What's her called? Expensive trauma. So where
Mm-hmm.
she addresses bad spending habits and the reason behind it. So definitely we'll let you know what that live is. So hopefully we can get you to join in as well and kind of help us because look, it didn't got therapeutic for us. That's how serious it is. So
Yeah.
I think just even you two teaming up with those things will be awesome. So I'm looking forward. And you guys, thank you to everybody that tuned in. Like we had a lot of people on here. Oh,
Oh, really?
yeah,
I
we did.
can't see that from my screen.
No, I
But
hid
hello,
it.
everyone.
Like 64 people. But
Oh.
definitely I think my phone's just blowing up. But definitely wanna Keri, you and I will talk behind the scenes. Thank you,
Sure.
everyone, for tuning in today. This was another 10 minutes of talk that went how long? 40, an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. But it will be on the channel. You can find us on YouTube. You can also find us on industriesradio.com, which is my station platform. And we'll go from there. Keri, thank you so much for
No problem.
joining me and letting me vent. You were the therapist
Thank
for
you.
today. I appreciate you.
I said, oh, let me talk to friend.
I'm better now. I'm better. I'm better. I'm gonna drink some more tea, and
Good.
we gonna woo side, and then I'm gonna go home. Okay, that's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do.
Yeah, is the piling up today? Jesus.
Listen, it got to be because my whole
Yeah, because my
I'm
eyes were
like,
watering.
ooh, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. That's why I'm
Sunburn.
just staying indoors. It's bad. It's bad. But thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. And everybody that tuned in, we appreciate you. We love you. Make sure you go out and vote. Is it too late? Oh, no, no. They still got time. You still got time to vote. Make sure you vote. This is a very, very, very important election. I ain't gonna get into the politics because I got to go. But definitely check out, go back if you missed anything, rewatch this video, and check me out. Usually it's 10 minutes, and I promise I'll keep it at 10 for everything else. All right, y'all. Carrie, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes, I will try. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, y'all. We are out of here. Thank you again for tuning in to another 10 minutes of talk for an hour and 16 minutes. It's your girl. I'm Jamila Laurie, the host, CEO of My Biz Consulting. This is our business podcast. You can also check us out on mybizconsulting.net where I'm working.